Welcome back. This week we've asked our panelists to single out their big winners and losers. Colin, what do you think?
Thank God, and I have been wanting to be able to say this, but the loser this week, Marie Le Pen. And I think the free world is much better for that, for her being the loser. And, you know, congratulations to the voice of reason having won out in France in the way of Macron.
Any winner?
The voice of freedom.
The voice of freedom.
And
okay.
reason.
I missed it. Okay, gotcha. All right. So my winners are the students at local schools, because we've only got, as I counted, about 15 or so school days until the end of the school year and summer. So everybody's getting ready for graduations. It's prom time. So it's a neat time for folks.
So does that make the parents the losers?
Well, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. But no, they're not the losers. Actually, I'm going to pass on a loser this week. I think everybody's a winner.
Everybody's a winner. Everybody gets a participation medal.
There you go.
You know, Colin, Le Pen and South Korea are interesting characters. What's going to happen with the elections? Is that this week in South Korea? It's coming up close.
Yeah, I think it is.
And with South Korea wanting to kind of start talking to the North Koreans, just one guy over there, and what Le Pen wanted to do. But to see, what was it, Macron?
Yes.
To see him handily win.
By 2/3
yes,
majority.
After the Russian hacks, and after the different things that happened, and after he was endorsed by former President of the United States, and while Le Pen, there was some pretty good discussions on the current President of the United States being supportive, I think the tide may be changing on the radicalism of the international community on who's going to be doing what.
Well, and there's been, and especially in Europe, I think, you know, it's not necessarily something that's played in American news very much, but you've had Austria, Hungary, to some degree some of the Scandinavian countries, certainly, although in Holland some of the more radical elements didn't win, the Brexit, there has been a large movement towards this radicalization, towards this nationalism, that I would like to think. So Germany hasn't fallen prey to it. Now, of course, German politics tend to be a little bit more stable.
Don't you see that beginning to change? Don't
do.
you see that starting to come around to a little bit of reality and a
Absolutely.
gut check in the whole world?
Yes, and that's basically what I was saying. And actually, I was agreeing by giving a lot of background.
Yeah. So, and the winner of the week for me, I had a chance to go see Peter Pan at the Maryland Theater on Sunday. Just a performance that was out of this world, and to see how Tinkerbell and the different people in Peter Pan and a couple of different people actually flew in the theater. To see that and to see the ease in which they did it and how that performance was put on at the Maryland Theater was magnificent. I've been attending ballet shows now since my granddaughter was about 3.5, and she's almost 17 now. So watching that has certainly become a treat, and to watch what the historic Maryland Theater has done with their new capabilities on stage is just unbelievable.
Very cool. And was that a Barbara Ingram production, or?
No, that was the dance company City Ballet put that on. Up next, Fast 5. Stay tuned.